Okay, what's up, Russell? How's it going, man? It is Wednesday afternoon. It's 4 o'clock Eastern time. Here for another little Q&A. Looks like not many people are in the Discord at this moment, but Russell's here. It's just me and Russell, I guess. What's up, man? How's everything going with you, Russ? Russell's here, but I'm not hearing you. I don't know. Maybe he's away from the from his device, the computer, right now. I'm gonna come over here to the Q&A questions, see if there's anything. No new questions in the Q&A question section. Now I know not everybody. Come on, there's got to be somebody with some questions. Let's see. Anthony just showed up to the Discord. Let's see if he jumps into the live chat here. If not, I'll hang out. I'll wait if anybody jumps in and out, maybe for the next 45 minutes or so. But everybody's been doing really, really well. We had a nice lesson last week about circadian rhythm and improving the sleep cycle. I think a lot of us are learning that sleep and the circadian rhythm, the connection to light in our environment, is just as important as food as far as health, blood glucose levels, hunger levels go. So hope everybody's working on getting to sleep a little bit earlier if you're having trouble sleeping at night, blacking out the room, right? We talked about controlling the light environment that you're in, so making it nice and dark in that room so you can sleep. Remember, you don't make melatonin when there is artificial light. And you don't make melatonin when there are specific frequencies of artificial light, namely those white and blue frequencies. So we want to be avoiding blue light at night, getting as much natural light as we can during the day in order to optimize the circadian rhythm. Nice. Anthony's here. What's up, Anthony? Can you hear me? All right, I see that you unmuted, but I don't hear you yet. You might have to give permission to your device to use the microphone. So I'll just hold on while you do that. Yeah, so I think the circadian rhythm can be one of the biggest factors on why we stall and why we have a difficult time maintaining diets, right? If we've got a messed up circadian rhythm, we're not sleeping well enough, and our sleep is poor, we're going to have bad blood glucose control. We're going to have more cravings. We're going to crave junk food. And if we optimize the circadian rhythm and get sleep cycles right, we can bypass a lot of those issues. Anthony, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Great. Nice to hear your voice. What are you up to today?
I'm just on my lunch break right now. I'm glad I was able to catch a chat.
Yeah, good timing, man.
Yeah, awesome timing.
So, how have the last few weeks been?
It's been going pretty good. Now that I've upgraded, or now that I've increased my protein, I've been feeling better. Like, I haven't really been wanting to take a nap at work or anything like that.
Nice, nice.
And then also I've been getting outside on my lunch breaks and getting in, like, just natural sunlight and everything. And last week there was some rain, so couldn't really get in the sun too much, but it was still, when it wasn't raining, still nice to get outside.
Yeah, it's amazing how much it can change your mood and your energy levels. Just getting outside and getting natural light, letting your eyes adjust to that natural light. Super important.
Yeah, it's definitely nice. I've learned like so much from you and Jessica, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, nice, man. That's awesome. We haven't seen you too much in the chat. We haven't synced up often, but we've been seeing you in the Discord server, and I think we've communicated via private message a few times too. But thanks, man. It's been nice having you here this month.
Yeah, it's been real sweet.
Yeah.
I had a couple questions.
Great.
So let's see. One of them is, when you're on keto, when you're doing this, and you want to do it for fat loss, what would the caloric deficit would you need to be at, or what would the certain number you need to hit?
Yeah, good question. All right, so that's going to be context dependent, right? There's some people who will be losing body fat at 2,500 calories, whereas a person the same size, a different lifestyle might lose weight at 2,000 calories. So really, that's going to be context dependent. There's no magic number of like, this is how many calories you got to eat to be in a deficit. In fact, the only way that you know you're in a calorie deficit is by losing weight. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of circular. It's like, well, you got to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. But how can I know I'm in a calorie deficit? Well, the only way to know is if you lose weight. Right? So it's a circular thing. So what I like to do is make sure one gets enough protein. And if you find a level where you're maintaining your weight for like if you're eating, say you're eating 160 grams of protein and 140 grams of fat, and you are maintaining your weight at that level for like 2 or 3 weeks. A good thing to do, if your hunger is already low and you don't feel super stressed about it, what you can do is you can drop down the fat by like 30 grams, right? So 30 grams would be just about 2 tablespoons worth of fat. So if you were to drop the fat down 30 grams, that means, theoretically, you'd be burning 30 grams more of body fat from when you were at maintenance. So I think moving in like 15 to 30 gram increments is nice because that's about a tablespoon of fat. 15 grams, tablespoon. It just makes it a little bit easier to adjust on a single meal or 2 meals if need be. But yeah, some people feel really good when they calorie restrict. Some people feel great when they do intermittent fasting. Other people might feel stressed when they're getting a little bit too restricted on the calories. So how much of a deficit you can handle will depend on you. And if you find that you're not sleeping well, that you got like high adrenaline levels, or you're just not feeling that good when you're restricting calories, you might want to increase the caloric intake a little bit just to make sure you can get through your day, that you have energy to move around. Because if you don't have energy to move or exercise, then you're going to be sedentary when you're trying to lose body fat, right? So your goal is to lose body fat. We want to get enough protein. You want to increase your movement. Maybe take a walk before and after meals if you can. If you're not hungry, if you eat your first meal and you come to your second meal and you're not hungry at all, you can skip a meal every once in a while, right? I mean, you don't want to be decreasing your protein too much for a long period of time, but every once in a while you want to skip a meal. If you get halfway through your meal, you're not hungry anymore, you can get into deeper deficit as comfortable. You just want to make sure that it's not interfering with your sleep patterns and it's not stressing you out.
Okay, awesome. That definitely clears up a lot.
Nice.
Okay, and let's see. I had a couple more. I'm trying to remember them. Let's see. What kind of workout program, or what do you think I should do for when for like speeding up the fat loss with like my activity wise? Would you say like lifting weights or like calisthenics?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the person, man. If you like lifting weights, if you've been in the gym before, that's a great way to go about it. Even if you've never been in the gym before and you're interested in lifting weights, you think you might enjoy it, I think that's a great way to go. Now, have you lifted before?
Yeah, I've lifted a little bit. The only experience, I lifted weights in high school.
Yeah.
And I have a little bit of like weight experience or like training when it comes to like P90X and Insanity. I used to do those a lot, but that takes up a lot of time.
Right. Yeah, 3 times a week, if you get into the gym 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, give yourself a rest day in between each workout. I think that it could be a great idea to get into the gym and lift some weights. I mean, as far as like accelerating fat loss, the most important thing for fat loss is diet. But if you're increasing your lean muscle mass, if you're increasing strength, your body composition is going to improve dramatically. You're going to burn more fat, and you'll feel really good in general. A good one to start with, like a good program, it would be like a 5x5 routine. Jessica's going to put a link.
I'll put it in there.
There's one of the most popular ones out there is Strong Lifts 5x5. They have it makes it really, really easy, basically. It just tells you exactly what to do. So the Strong List 5x5 link, we just put that in the main chat. I think that's a really good one to start with if you want to get into lifting right now. Cardio, like intense heavy cardio, as far as like the metabolic benefits of it, yeah, it's good for heart health to do some cardio. But as far as fat loss goes, cardio usually increases hunger dramatically. So, I mean, definitely walking, right? But I don't really recommend, going out intentionally doing a 5-mile run every day. That usually doesn't end up helping much in the long run. You want to find something that you enjoy. If you love getting up and doing a 5-mile run every day, there's nothing wrong with that either. But we just want to figure out what it is you can enjoy and what you can do regularly.
Okay. Cool. And I think there was another. Oh, meal prepping. When it comes to preparing your food or having your food prepared for the week, would you recommend just like cooking it all like in one day for the whole week, or just like daily preparing the food? Because I kind of ran into that issue last night.
What do you think, babe?
I like doing it every 2 to 3 days, right? So I'll bulk prep meatballs or burger patties, or maybe something baked with eggs, a quiche or a frittata, and then that will usually last us all at least 2 days, as a family, right? So if you're a single person or just a couple, it'll last maybe up to 4 days. And I find that for me, that's what I'm most efficient at. So the food has a pretty quick turnover in the fridge. I try to shop and then prep either that same day or the next day. So my ingredients are really fresh and then they get cooked and then they're just ready to go. It's easy to pack food and kind of portion it out when it's already prepped. And I feel like, I just went shopping and I kind of have all that momentum going. So that's what I've discovered works for me. The keto flatbreads are a good thing to bulk prep also. Hard-boiled eggs are awesome. I have a big pot, what I use for the bone broth. I can put about 30 eggs in that, and you cover it with an inch of water, and I let it boil for maybe 5 minutes, and they have this really nice soft boiled where the yolk is still a little soft. It's not too hard and like crumbly. It's kind of gooey. So I like that texture. Guacamole can be bulk prepped. Any of the sauces that are in the ketogenic edge, those are really nice. And you can have a really simple staple like a burger patty or cauliflower rice or meatball, and then you can mix and match sauces throughout the week, and you can add variety to your diet that way.
Oh, okay.
How have you been doing it? You said you were doing daily food prep?
Yeah, I'm still getting better at food prepping because I'm kind of on my own in this. I still live with my family, and they think I'm crazy for keeping my carbs low. So everybody around me thinks I'm nuts, but it's working, and I feel awesome when I do it.
There you go.
But it's just getting down like the food prepping and making sure like I'm learning about the circadian rhythms and just trying to get that down. So yeah, there's things a lot of new things I've learned, but a lot of new things to apply.
Yeah, it's a whole process, right? And then once you think you get one thing down, you add another layer to it, or your situation changes and you have to kind of readapt to it. So you're always kind of refining, as you go on. But it's good. I think everybody in this group is pretty well equipped with a lot of different tools to use in different applications and different contexts, to really keep the stress low and nourish yourself and get good sleep.
Definitely. That's cool.
Yeah, but I would stick to just basic, keep your food as simple as possible, right? Especially just for daily things. Learn what you like. It's not, Tristan says this a lot, it's not really a culinary tour here, right? We're trying to reform our daily habits that have taken years really to get to where we are now. And so keeping it really simple in the beginning can help just solidify your path on where you're going. And it also makes it really easy to track when you do try new foods or different elements. You can see, if you're eating pretty similar for a while and then you add something new, you can tell, it's easier to gauge what the trigger was for your different way of feeling. You know, which is more hard if you're having new foods all the time.
Okay. All right. Well, that definitely clears up a lot for me. Definitely helps out.
Great.
I think that was all the questions I had.
Cool.
Well, if you think of any more, you can always message us, or we'll be in here again on Sunday.
Okay, cool.
What time
I'll
on
try to
Sunday?
catch you guys on Sunday because every time, or you guys have it at 1 your time, but then in my time over here in California, it's like 10 o'clock and I'm still in church and I'm like,
time.
oh man, I missed them.
Oh.
But it's okay. I'm just glad I was able to make this one.
Oh, sorry.
Anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's up, man?
That's all right. I finally got the mic working.
Nice. That's Russell, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Nice to hear your voice, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm going pretty good, except for my throat. But yeah, everything's fine. I've been going good on this keto plan at the moment, except I had a couple of run-ins with going over on my fat. Like I noticed that when I have bacon and a few other ones with high in fat, it's easy to go over and when you need to match it up with your amount of protein, like the certain amount of protein I've got to have each day.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've had double the fat one there. But then a few days I swapped it with, like I've had steak and I've had fish. And then when I've had the days that I've had the steak and the fish, it's the fat's at the right amount then. So I have to limit eating a bit of the amount of bacon, I think, because that's the one that's put the fat up.
Yeah, bacon is...
Does that make sense to you? Or?
Yep, yeah, bacon is very nutrient dense, right? I mean, it'd be better eating, steak or ground beef than bacon anyways, just as far as how you feel and how your body performs. The fatty acids profile is a little bit superior on ruminant animals. So you probably feel better, too, with that. Uh-oh. Did we disconnect? Let's see.
Oh,
there you are. Yeah. What's up, man? Yeah, but what are your hunger levels like? What do you feel like when you hit your macros?
No, I'm pretty fine. Like I said, I've been doing some sort of diet in the last 5 years, on and off, and especially the last 6 months, a lot of trying to do keto on and off in the last 6 months. And half the time I was not quite as hungry, but then sometimes I hit a real hungry patch. But like I said before in other things, I always go off it. I think the longest I've ever been on one is a diet. The keto one was, I think, 6 weeks. And then I had a day off or something happened, and then I never went back on it. I just kept going on and on,
Yeah.
But all my life I've always ate meat, a very big meat eater, and if I was having breakfast, I'd have meat and eggs. That's all I'd have, except all the other things go with it: toast, butter, crumpets, all the other things that I've got.
Yeah, that's
heaps amount of carbs in it.
That's the issue. Right, and then those things.
That's what I've done all my life.
The meat gets blamed for all the problems that a lot of those things cause us.
Yep, it's the same with when I had big dinners. Like, used to have plenty of meat, all sorts of meat, but I have bread with it, 5, 6 pieces of bread, and 3 ton of potato. But that's a normal dinner back in them days, I suppose. And that's what we used to feed our kids too. The same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well.
But anyway, I don't really have any more questions. That was just sort of a notation.
But it sounds like you're doing pretty well. I mean, the thing you got to work out is the cyclical nature of the dieting for you, right? We got to find a way that you can eat and enjoy long term without feeling like you like you need to ditch the diet or feeling overwhelmed by it, we've got to find a way for you to eat that you can continue to do.
Oh yeah, yes, I'm a quitter. That's what it must be all the time.
I mean,
I've quit that many diets.
you've also started that many diets. You started that many diets and you quit that many diets. So, I mean, you're a starter.
Exactly.
let's finish it, right? I mean, really, what you got to do is you got to figure out a way of eating that you can stick with. If you can't do it long term,
Yeah.
then there's no point in even pretending, right?
I even went to a doctor once, and he even said, "Oh, keto diets." Yeah, he even said it's great. That's the first time I've ever had a doctor say it. And but he retired then, and I never seen him again.
That was a good sign.
And yep, he said his wife was on some sort of a keto diet.
It's a good sign, man.
Anyway, I'll let you go. I'll just listen to the rest, and
All right, man.
I go onto the site and I read all the stuff and I keep doing what I do. And
yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. Sometimes your voice breaks up a bit, but I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
That's our stupid internet here.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good chatting, man. I'm glad you're doing well. Let's keep working on building the habits. You know, you got to find the keto foods that you just really like to eat. You know, you got to find the foods that are good, that nourish you, that you enjoy to eat, but that you don't enjoy eating so much that you wake up in the middle of the night to eat it. Right? It's just, we eat it and fill up on it, and continue to fill up on the right things, and you won't be craving the wrong things. All right, Russ. Have a good one, man. Let's see, anybody else? Who else is here? I think someone else jumped in. Barbara's here. What's up, Barbara? How are you, Barbara?
Check out Kyla's before.
Hey, how are you doing?
There you go. How's it going today?
Hey,
Hello.
Barbara.
Been a long time since I heard your voice.
Yeah, how have you been?
I've been alright.
What's new over there?
We're sticking with the carnivore. Dave's doing really good.
And you? What's up with you?
I'm hitting my macros, or I'm just a titch under, but it averages out. Maybe a few days later, a couple days later, I have a little bit more over my macros, protein to fat, what you and I had already talked about.
Yeah.
And I am not only not losing weight, I've gained a pound this week. So I'm just like, whatever. It's been months.
How do you know you gained a pound? I mean, your weight's always fluctuating, right? You got to, throughout the month, our weight fluctuates dramatically.
I weigh myself once a week. So, I mean, if you
weigh yourself once a week, you're only looking at a snapshot of once a week. Do you know how much you can fluctuate day to day? From the beginning of the day, from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Yeah, from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, I can get like a 5-pound fluctuation, sometimes more. So what makes you think that you didn't just weigh yourself at the wrong time? You're not gaining a pound of fat, right? I'm pretty sure you're. Well, then what are you going to do if you are? Then what?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, do I decrease the energy, keep the protein the same, and decrease the fat, and do more like 1 to 1.5 ratio?
Well, what's your hunger like? How's your hunger?
Huh?
How's your hunger?
Right now, it's fine. I mean, I'm not hungry. Like, I just ate. I didn't just eat, but I don't really have an appetite. That's the problem.
I think there's something. Hold on. I'm getting major interference on the voice. Let me try reconnecting, because I think I have a poor connection. It's telling me I've got a bad connection. Hold on. Can you guys hear me?
Not yet. Try now. There.
All right. How's that? Can you guys hear me now?
You're still a little breaking up, but not as bad.
Okay, you guys are breaking up really bad.
James, get out.
I can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm talking to my dog.
She's so sweet.
thing.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool.
But it sounds better.
Is it me?
Sounds a little bit better. So yeah, anyways, if you're really worried about weight loss, you got to weigh yourself every day, not once a week. You weigh yourself once a week, that's just, I mean, you're getting a random measurement because you don't know where you are in the cycle on that one, right? Because like if you weigh yourself in the middle of the day, you're gonna weigh different than you do in the beginning of the day. So what I would do is weigh yourself every day at the same time, see what the trend is. But also, I mean, just
Wait, Tristan, I mean, in 3 months, shouldn't I weigh at least something less than, even if I only weighed myself once in the last 3 months, shouldn't I weigh less than I did 3 months ago?
If you weigh yourself once in 3 months, what are you comparing it to if you only have one measurement?
But also not necessarily, right? Because she had a lot of like trauma. And she's
Right, it's like you got to consider what you're doing. Remember, we're trying to build strength. Remember, you've been bedridden for how long? You lost so much muscle tissue, so much connection to your central nervous system. Have you been working on that?
I'm sorry, Tristan, I didn't hear the last part.
Have you been working on building strength and moving around a little bit more like we talked about before?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you should be building muscle.
and gaining muscle.
And when you build muscle
more than
and lose fat at the same time, you might not see any difference on the scale, right? But you could be improving your body composition dramatically. I mean, you got
until when? I mean, what is the? I mean, how long does anyone stay on any kind of diet? Not that I'm thinking of leaving the diet, because I prefer it over any diet I've ever been on. But I mean, I got fat rolls hanging over my gut. I haven't changed pant size. My bra is still tight. You know what I mean? It's frustrating.
Then what are you gonna do? What do you want me to say? Do you want me? I mean, what do you want me to say? Do you just want me to like join you in on the? I mean, what's the point of this?
Whether you think I'm eating too much fat, maybe.
No, we just adjusted the macros. It's been a couple weeks on these macros, right? How long has it been on these macros?
It's been 3 weeks on this one.
All right, 3 weeks on this. You weighed yourself one time, right?
No, I've weighed myself 3 times.
3 times. Okay, so 3 times, and you're a pound heavier now than you were 3 weeks ago. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're not hungry at all, if your hunger is low, you could try decreasing the amount of fat that you're intaking. But like I said before, we want to build strength. You want to have energy so you can move around. And if you get too low in calories, morale gets super low, and we're already having a crisis of morale. So I'm very.
But my macros, based on what you told me already when we talked privately a while back, 100 grams of protein, 1. You said 90 to 100 grams. So my calories run no more than 1,000 calories a day. But I'm not hungry, and I don't have low energy.
Yeah. Well, that's good. If your energy is good, you're not very hungry, then, I mean, you can decrease the fat a little bit. Remember, you're mostly sedentary, but the goal is not just to look at the scale and have the scale tell you some number. You've got to be actively moving your body, re-engaging with your body, and you see what I'm saying? Like, you have to strengthen your body. You got to be moving. We have to have enough energy to move. So if you're not hungry, then you could try decreasing the fat by about 20 grams and stay there, right? But I think the most important thing is just consistency with the movement, like really getting on. I don't mean, beating yourself up, but, talking, we're not talking, but, engaging in the movements, the type of movement that we talked about before, and just really focusing on strengthening your body and on rebuilding, right? Because you were bedridden, was it 6 weeks?
Well, 2.5 years ago, I was 11 weeks.
Yeah. Right, and
3 months.
so 3 months, 3 months without moving. I mean, it's the most important thing is consistency and enjoyment. If you're doing a diet, it's got to be a diet that you can enjoy. If you're not getting the fat loss and that takes away all the enjoyment of the diet, then I don't know what to say, right? I mean, it's like if fat loss is the only goal, then then that's the only input that you're going to have that's going to tell you whether you're successful or happy with your diet or not. So I think obviously you want to lose body fat. You are in a pretty difficult situation as far as, you know, the physical ailments that you've dealt with, and, you know, the hand you've been dealt physically, the what you're holding there is it's difficult. But the most important thing is finding a way that you can eat that you can maintain. Right? I mean, obviously you don't want to be gaining weight. You don't want to not be making progress. But I mean, what you got to keep perspective too. Some people stall for months. Some people stall for a year. Right? I mean, there's different situations. I mean, a lot of it. You can't be discouraged by other people making significant progress as well. Like, we've all got a different situation. We've all got our own individual contexts and our own hurdles. Oh, Barbara's gone. Where is she at?
It's true, though, right? I think that's a good point to notice that it's not always about the scale. There's a lot of other indicators.
Well, it's just, we've had this conversation like 5 times now.
Yeah. But for others in the group, you know, even if you're not losing weight as fast as you think you might want to be, you can still be feeling really well. You can be sleeping better. Your clothes might be fitting better.
Yeah.
And when you are working out more, you're moving your body more, and you begin to build a muscle, you might be losing fat and gaining muscle, and the scale's not changing, but you're feeling
especially if
better.
the goal is to be building strength and muscle. I think Barbara's
Right.
just missing what's going on here. I mean, we're trying to build strength and muscle. We're trying to get her more strong so she can have the energy to move around.
Which it sounds like she's saying her hunger's pretty low and she has good energy throughout the day. So
The problem is the scale's not moving. That's the perceived problem.
Perceived problem, yeah, I understand.
But if we're only looking for that one input,
right.
then we're going to throw away all the other markers of progress and sacrifice those because we're not seeing progress on this one thing. So a lot of it just comes down to perspective. A lot of it comes down to perspective, and that's very important to keep perspective and to keep emotionally detached from what the scale tells you. If you're completely emotionally attached to what the scale is telling you every single day, you're on the roller coaster. And you could wake up one day half a pound heavier, 1 pound heavier, 3 pounds heavier.
Oh, easily. I see
You get
that with myself
a night of
all the
poor
time.
sleep, you can hold on to
Yeah.
like 5 pounds of water weight.
Yep.
But if that ruins your day, I mean, it sucks, but it can really impede the mental state needed to continue. So I don't know. It seems like maybe her phone died or something like that. Give it the benefit of the doubt. But Barbara, you're gonna be fine. You got this. I know it's hard. You're sitting there, you're stewing. You're not. It's really hard when we're not able to move around too. It's like when we're sedentary and we've got certain. But I totally relate. I totally relate, Barbara. No, we got to get you moving. We got to get you a little bit more active and strengthen the body as we can. The weight's gonna come off, Barbara. You'll be all right. All right. So we already talked to Anthony and Russell. Russ is going from big Russ to just Russ. We'll be there soon. But yeah, guys, I think one of the most important messages for today is just don't get discouraged. We all want the scale to move. We're looking for fat loss. We want the scale to move. But there are non-scale victories that we got to be cognizant of. We've got to really understand that just the scale doesn't tell us the whole story. Especially, we're trying to build strength. So Anthony's going to be getting in the gym. He's going to be building some strength. He's going to be trying to increase his strength and performance in the gym. He's going to notice significant body change, but he might see that he looks totally different, but the scale hasn't changed. And that does happen. We can lose a pound of fat, gain a pound of muscle. Scale doesn't move, but we look totally different. All right, guys. So we got another meeting on Sunday at, what time? 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I thought you told me it was 10.
No.
It was 10 for him. 10 for Anthony.
Yeah.
10 p.m., 10 a.m. for Anthony, but 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for us. We'll see you on Sunday. Let us know if you need anything. And, yeah, Russell, Anthony, Barbara, whose phone seems to have died. I'll see y'all guys. I'll see you guys really soon. I can't even speak a sentence right now. My mouth is not working.
Bye, everybody.
All right,
Been
later,
a
guys.
pleasure.
Have a good
All
one.
right, bye. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, later, Anthony. Bye, Russell.